Today we are taking the test over the skills we learned while reading the story Saving the Rainforest. We are going to read the passage, then answer the questions that follow. The first passage is called Biomass Basics by the United States Energy Information Association, Biomass from http www.eia.gov/kids from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. 1. Biomass is organic material made from plants and animals, microorganisms. Biomass contains stored energy from the sun. Plants absorb the sun's energy in a process called photosynthesis. The chemical energy in plants gets passed on to animals and people that eat them. 2. Biomass is a renewable energy source because we can always grow more trees and crops, and waste will always exist. Some examples of biomass fuels are wood, crops, manure, and some garbage. 3. When burned, the chemical energy in biomass is released as heat. If you have a fireplace, the wood you burn in it is a biomass fuel. Wood waste, or garbage, can be burned to produce steam for making electricity or to provide heat to industries and homes. Converting biomass to other forms of energy. 4. Burning biomass is not the only way to release its energy. Biomass can be converted to other usable forms of energy, such as methane gas or transportation fuels, such as ethanol and biodiesel. 5. Methane gas is the main ingredient of natural gas. Smelly stuff, like rotting garbage and agricultural and human waste, release methane gas, also called landfill gas or biogas. 6. Crops like corn and sugarcane can be fermented to produce ethanol. Biodiesel, another transportation fuel, can be produced from leftover food products like vegetable oils and animal fats. How much biomass is used for fuel? 7. Biomass fuels provided about 4% of the energy used in the United States in 2011. Of this, about 45% was from wood and wood-derived biomass, 44% from biofuels, mainly ethanol, and about 11% from municipal waste. Researchers are trying to develop ways to burn more biomass and less fossil fuels. Using biomass for energy may cut back on waste and greenhouse gas emissions. Wood and wood waste. Burning wood is nothing new. 8. The most common form of biomass is wood. For thousands of years, people have burned wood for heating and cooking. Wood was the main energy source in the United States and the rest of the world until the mid-1800s. Wood continues to be a major source of energy in much of the developing world. 9. In the United States, wood and wood waste, bark, sawdust, wood chips, wood scrap, and paper mill residues provide about 2% of the energy we use today. Using wood and wood waste. 10. About 80% of the wood and wood waste fuel used in the United States is consumed by industry, electric power producers, and commercial businesses. The rest, mainly wood, is used in homes for heating and cooking. We have 2 footnotes at the bottom. Ethanol is a colorless, flammable liquid used in fuel, and fermented means to undergo or produce a chemical change. Many manufacturing plants in the wood and paper products industry use wood waste to produce their own steam and electricity. This saves these companies money because they don't have to dispose of their waste products and they don't have to buy as much electricity. Waste to energy. Energy from garbage. 12. Garbage, often called municipal solid waste, MSW, is the source of about 6% of the total biomass energy consumed in the United States. MSW contains biomass, or biogenic materials like paper, cardboard, food scraps, grass clippings, leaves, wood, and leather products, and other non-biomass combustible materials, mainly plastics and other synthetic materials made from petroleum. 13. Americans produce more and more waste each year. In 1960, the average American threw away 2.7 pounds of trash a day. Today, each American throws away about 4.4 pounds of trash every day. Of that, about 1.5 pounds are recycled or composted. What do we do with the rest? One option is to burn it. Burning is sometimes called combustion. About 85% of our household trash is material that will burn, and most of that is biogenic, or material that is made from biomass, plant or animal products. About 62% of MSW by weight is biogenic. Waste to energy plants make steam and electricity. 14. Today, we can burn MSW in special waste-to-energy plants and use its heat to make steam to heat buildings or to generate electricity. There are about 76 waste-to-energy plants in the United States that generate electricity or produce steam. In 2011, these plants generated 14 million kilowatt hours of electricity, about the same amount used by 1.3 million U.S. households. The biogenic material in MSW contributed about 51% of the energy of the MSW that was burned in waste-to-energy facilities. Many large landfills also generate electricity with the methane gas that is produced as biomass decomposes in the landfills. Waste-to-energy plants also dispose of waste. 15. Providing electricity is not the major advantage of waste-to-energy plants. It actually costs more to generate electricity at a waste-to-energy plant than it does at a coal, nuclear, or hydropower plant. 16. The major advantage of burning waste is that it reduces the amount of material that we bury in landfills. Waste-to-energy plants burned about 30 million tons of MSW in 2011. Burning MSW reduces the volume of waste by about 87%. We are now moving on to questions. My first suggestion is, since we have the time, to pause the video, go back to the beginning, and listen to this passage again. After you have done so, feel free to start the questions. This question has two parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. 1. What is a key idea? What key idea is introduced in paragraphs 1 through 3? Again, this would be a great time to go back up and listen to paragraphs 1 through 3. What key idea is introduced in paragraphs 1 through 3? A. Plants capture the sun's energy and turn it into chemical energy. B. The wood burned in a fireplace is a biomass fuel. C. Biomass fuels include wood, crops, and manure. D. Biomass can help provide some of the nation's energy. Part B, number 2. Select two sentences from elsewhere in the passage that develop the key idea introduced in paragraphs 1 through 3. A. Smelly stuff like rotting garbage and agricultural and human waste release methane gas, also called landfill gas or biogas. B. Crops like corn and sugarcane can be fermented to produce ethanol. C. Biomass fuels provided about 4% of the energy used in the United States in 2011. D. Wood continues to be a major source of energy in much of the developing world. E. In 2011, these plants generated 14 million kilowatt hours of electricity, about the same amount used by 1.3 million U.S. households. F. Burning MSW reduces the volume of waste by about 87%. The table below has 6 statements regarding the passage, Biomass Basics. 4 statements belong in a summary, but 2 do not. Write the four statements that belong in a summary in the correct order in the graphic organizer below. So for the graphic organizer, number 3 is going to be first, 4 is second, 5 is third, and number 6 is fourth. Your options, again, you're going to, the table below has 6 statements regarding the passage Biomass Basics. 4 statements belong in a summary, but 2 do not. Write the 4 statements that belong in a summary in the correct order in the graphic organizer below. A. Biomass is organic matter that contains energy. B. Biomass power plants are less practical than other power plants. C. Biomass power plants can reduce waste in landfills. D. Biomass and garbage can be burnt to produce electricity. E. Biomass can be converted to many other forms of energy. And A.B. Biomass power plants produce too much pollution to be safe. Again, you are going to write the 4 statements that belong in a summary and in the correct order in the graphic below. We have number 3 is first, number 4 is second, number 5 is third, number 6 is fourth. This question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A, number 7. What is the author's main point of view regarding biomass? A. The United States should adopt biomass as a primary energy source. B. As a fuel source, biomass has many important benefits for today's world. C. Biomass produces too much air pollution to be widely adopted. D. Biomass was important in the past, but it is not practical for modern society. Part B, question 8. Which paragraph from the passage most clearly expresses an opposite point of view as that in Part A? Is it A, paragraph 1, B, paragraph 5, C, paragraph 8, D, paragraph 12, or E, paragraph 15? Again, feel free to go back in this video and listen to those paragraphs again. Numbers 9 and 10 have been combined. You are going to select 3 sentences from the passage that best support the author's claim that waste is a growing concern. You will fill in the appropriate lettered bubble using numbers 9 and 10 on the bubble sheet. A. Biomass can be converted to other usable forms of energy, such as methane gas, or transportation fuels, such as ethanol and biodiesel, paragraph 4. B. Using biomass for energy may cut back on waste and greenhouse gas emissions, paragraph 7. C. Wood continues to be a major source of energy in much of the developing world, paragraph 8. D. In the United States, wood and wood waste, bark, sawdust, wood chips, wood scrap, and paper mill residues provide about 2% of the energy we use today, paragraph 9. E. Garbage, often called municipal solid waste, MSW, is the source of about 6% of the total biomass energy consumed in the United States, paragraph